episode 2.
3 and 4.
Because if you're watching this, you liked it. Brilliant timing, brilliant script writing. I love the fact that you're also writing in a way that is so emotionally captivating that it didn't feel like it was...
She's American, you know?
Ah, very nice. I like the way that this was done. I really do.
Yeah,
it's refreshing that it had no freaking fluff.
Yeah,
it was straight to the point.
Very little fat. This
very
had
dynamic.
It's a very clean cut piece of steak, mate. This was fucking delicious.
Yeah. I cried. That was really emotionally really nice.
Yeah, really nice. I mean, I knew it was coming because obviously it's just the way life goes.
Of course.
But also really well paced. I think the pacing of this is probably how a lot of documentaries should be shot. I think episodic is usually the best way. You can dive deeper into specific things. You can see the criticisms from the public be addressed in some sort of argumentative way, or what their approach is and their mindset has been. For example, the nepotism thing I think is one of the most interesting parts. Also seeing the ups and downs of being in filmmaking. It's very fickle, as you can obviously tell. Sometimes 3 years you're fucking kicking ass, and then 2 years in a row you've had no fucking hits, and now you're cooked. Investors, that was quite interesting as well. That's more the corporate side of things. I wish they would have actually gone deeper into that, because
the shift from
multinational corporations,
from passion filmmaking to actual outstanding manufacturer after,
obviously Aditya has ton of big dreams. I do like that a lot, because I've said it from the beginning. I think what Indian cinema, or Bollywood in that sense, has made is what I think the West End and Broadway have tried to do but have failed. And only when multinational corporations and the big sort of studio houses in LA, in Hollywood get involved, you get The Greatest Showman, you get High School. Well, High School Music was a passion project
that hit
by luck, but it was Disney, but it was also a passion project. They basically were working with scraps. I think that era, the reason why we didn't have anything like High School Musical and Camp Rock was because it didn't know what it wanted to be. Yeah. Can we really bring theatre into the big picture? And the answer was, you fucking can't, because Disney tried again. They did.
No, and the thing is, take it out of perhaps one specific studio, but there aren't musicals in cinema, which you obviously you had
Mamma Mia.
You had also what was the one with
Hairspray?
Yeah,
Westlife, Grease.
Westlife.
Is it Westlife, the one where...
West Side Story.
West Side Story.
But that's a remake. You see, that's a remake of the original.
Nothing original in that sense. And again,
Hairspray was original.
Did it do all right when they did it in the last few years? West Side Story.
La La Land.
They did La La Land.
Yeah.
They did
They
have tried. But
there have been, but in terms of there is a continuum and a set predominant studio that makes musicals.
And also, most of them are not original stories.
Yeah,
they're just remakes of old shit, which is very common in the West at the moment.
I kind of like the fact that you could have, if there was a company, if there was a studio that I would be excited to see a musical from, would definitely be something that YRF brings to the West. Because
I'll be down.
Also, I would love to see stories like DDLJ or something similar, a brand new story in theater here in the West, because you don't get that. You get companies that have Bollywood influences try to tell Desi stories, and they don't hit the same. And then you can see that you can see the discrepancy when you see a film of the Indian film industry in comparison to what they're trying to put out in the West.
I guess Wicked, right?
Yeah, but
that's upcoming.
It's coming. Yeah, that's right.
Upcoming,
Universal.
So, but again, remake. It's just like musical brought into big screen.
Which I don't have a problem with.
No, but I want original stories, mate.
Yeah, I agree.
Get fucked.
I agree.
Tired of the remakes. Come up with something. It's the only reason why there's remakes. Ariana Grande is part of the thing, right?
Yeah. I think she is.
Ariana Grande, Cynthia, Marissa Bode, Peter Dink, whatever the fuck his name is, Ethan Slater, Michelle Yeoh. But it's
a good cast.
Yeah, very good cast. Kiss of the Spider Woman. Yeah, so
Because the Spider-Woman is also a play brought into film.
yeah. So I want original stuff. I know actually this is another more interesting conversation as well. In Indian cinema, a lot of the things that do happen is stories get taken from different parts of India, and then they gets making by the north, and then the northern stories get taken by the south, and then they get made into something, and then so it's like, I mean, I guess now we're getting into the conversation. It's like, well, is even Bollywood really doing that anyways? Whatever, what the fuck. Now we're going way too deep and I'm going to get lost in the source. Let's address one thing at a time. But I do think like companies like YRF could bring cool stories and like Indian stories. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
Bring them into Broadway. Bring them to the West End. In the West End, it would do amazing numbers.
It would do
You know,
so
because
well.
a lot of shows in the West End, they sell very well, but they don't have a ton of commercial appeal outside of the West End.
Yeah, unless you are
Tom
a
Holland?
household. No, unless you are a household production like
There has been
Lion
Lion
King.
King, Wicked.
The Phantom of the Opera,
Les Mis.
Wicked, Les Mis. That they have been on theaters forever. Yeah, then it's very difficult for you to. And actually, it depends on the cast.
Yeah.
'Cause if the cast, for some reason, is not the best adaptation of that story, then
Or like Star,
you
just
know,
completely.
star power.
Yeah, Star Power, you're not really going to get, anyone to tune in that much. It does have its cult following and it does do quite well in places like London. But again,
But it would be cool to see a Desi story in theater.
yeah, but it will never pull the same amount on box office numbers that Hollywood films do, a West End production. But I think if you do a musical and then you also translate into a big screen,
Yeah, the market's there.
both at the same time, I don't know. You come up with something innovative. Anyways, what an interesting documentary. I think we've expressed all of our thoughts. Let us know what you guys thought about it. I hope you enjoyed this little marathon. Of course, do check out the original. And aside from that,
We'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.